My name is Luca, and I'm writing an album with my friend Ben. When I write all the things that I write, I tend to just record like a very short snippet of it on my phone, and it's now taking up too much storage, and so I thought I'd record on my computer. And then I thought if I do like longer videos, I can explain what I'm writing, why I'm writing it, and what the lyrics mean, where I got the chords from, and just kind of show the whole process of how I'm writing not only each like individual song, but how each song connects to each other, and just the whole idea for the whole album. I thought it would be really interesting to do that. Yeah, this is just going to be me figuring out my own songs and trying to write and explaining what I'm doing in that process, if that makes sense. But I'll show you some of those now. This first one was written mostly by Ben. And it's kind of like a ballad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like ballroom dancing kind of vibe. And I cannot remember the lyrics for the life of me, so you might have to bear with me. I think it's like, daylight is dying, starlight is lying, I see the fire, the skies at night, ask you to come over, but I know that you're gone, I just can't accept the fate, I have to move on, but I can't seem to shake you out of my brain, but you're not even awake no more, hold the door, I want to die with you now. I have to let go, now there's no place for my soul, or something like that. I won't do the whole thing, mostly because I know I won't be able to remember the lyrics. It's a very pretty song. It's in a bit of a weird time signature, and when we recorded it properly, the producer said that we write in movements. We don't write in typical like popular music fashion, which I think that's a good thing. I think you have to be different to some extent, but the point of me like writing all this isn't to try and invent like a new genre. It's more to just to get everything I've ever written out. It's kind of like the George Harrison like of the Beatles kind of thing. And I've been in bands for, that's a really egotistical comparison actually, I'm sorry, but like in the sense that I've been in bands for so long, and me and Ben have been writing for so long. I've so many ideas with him that now that it's just us, I just want to do an album and put everything out. I'll show you another one that I'm working on. This one isn't anywhere near done. But it's got some cool riffs in it for the guitar, and this is one of the heavier ones. Most of them are quite like sad and emotional, because I think the point of writing for me is I want to make you feel something. I want you to listen to it and go like, oh god, like I can relate to that, or god, that's depressing, or I don't know, I'm not good at evoking like the really positive emotions. I'm not good at making go yeah, like start bapping your head. This is the closest I think I've gotten. Try some random lyrics. As she falls through the grave, as she lights up everything that she could say to those she can go. And this is the chorus bit I've got so far. It sounds really nice plucked, actually. not sure what kind of vocals go over that either, just yet. But could be like that sounded pretty horrendous. And then the outro of that song is like, I don't know how I'm going to transition into this either, because this is quite complicated, like finger picking wise. Excuse the mistake. The song I think probably is, I don't know, something that I do a lot when I write songs is I really over develop them, and so they end up sounding really just over the top. And this is one I'm very scared to do that with. It's called, well, the working name at least is Day After Dreaming, because I wrote it when I was really hungover. And very emotional, clearly. But it's a song about a couple past people I've had the unlucky nature to have to meet, but it's about a girl essentially that's just broken and is weirdly starved of a specific kind of attention, and the person who's singing it is debating in their head whether there's anything they can do to like fix them, and if they even have the responsibility of having to do that. Like, should they do it? Is it any of their business to do it? But they're just repeatedly getting hurt over and over again because of it. But yeah. And it's kind of the song is the progression of, at the start, like they want to fix them, they want to help, and by the end they've just kind of accepted it, and they're not like okay with it, and they're not okay with themselves, but they recognize that the healthy thing to do is to just cut them off and leave them, because there isn't anything that they could do in this lifetime that could help. Like they're not the person that fixes them, they're the person in between that. Again. By the way, this is the third time I've tried to record this. The first time I had my guitar plugged into my or not even my guitar, just my jack to jack lead plugged into my audio interface thingy, which is what this lovely thing is connected to, and so it just had this horrible like beeping sound over the entire like 40 minutes of recording. It was so annoying, and then I tried to record it again, and then there was loads of people chatting in the hole that just ruined it, and my editing skills aren't good enough to fix that. I write silly songs on guitar. I don't know how to build a YouTube platform or edit things and make them look nice. I closed my curtains and I put my lamp on because I thought it looked aesthetic. Like, I've got no clue what I'm doing. Like, this is mostly just for me to look back on and think, God, I talk a lot, and also, how did I write that? What was I writing for? What was the point? What emotion am I trying to evoke from this? Because I'm very forgetful. But anyway, this is that song. I called you again, hoping, waiting for it all to extend. Everything I could not do for you. wish I could hold you. That's lyric. I forgot the lyric. No. Hold you. I forgot the lyric. I've blanked. I'm sorry. And then it goes. I told you I felt so alone. Sat in my darkness for you to come home. I wish I could hold you, but I like the way you were before. And then in this bit I've had like a choir of humming, just a load of people softly in unison relating their own situations by just kind of sadly harmonizing. I caught you finally happy. I thought I'd call you my wife, but it's okay, I promise I'm fine. I think I just need to, I can't tell if the chorus, because there's the two bits of I know you felt alone, and then there's the I felt alone bit, and I don't know if together it's too repetitive and it needs to be split up, and there should be like a verse in between that. That's I'm currently thinking, do I need to do that? Alright, I'll talk to you later then. Alright.
Also.
Why are you hanging up on me?
You hung up on me.
I didn't hang up. There's video evidence that I didn't hang up on you. There's actual video evidence.
Well, I didn't hang up either.
Well, you must have, because it wasn't me, and I have evidence that it wasn't me. I'm going to show the camera the dog. There's my dog. Yeah, I gotta write lyrics. I'll just write some more because, I mean, they can't hurt, can it? Do the same chorus or the same verse in a song. If you listen, usually there's like some kind of difference. It's never exactly the same. Like, it's not just copied and pasted, because your brain will register that as boring, and then you'll lose attention, and then you'll either dislike the song subconsciously, or you just want to listen to it again. The best songs always, you listen to them 50 billion times and you notice something new in them every time. That's why, I don't know, like Radiohead, for example, one of my favourite bands. Every time I listen to Jigsaw Falling Into Place, which is in the thousands, unfortunately, I'm slightly obsessed with that entire album. I've found, like, I'll find a new part, a different, like, little violin bit just in there for, like, a second that I didn't get before, and I think that's what, like, really good songwriting is. But, I don't know what needs to be different. Maybe it just needs to be, like, a bass line instead of guitar. But then the thing that I like about it is I think the thing that makes this song special is the difference, the variation in the chords. So you have an A minor, and then you have that variation, or you have the C, and then you have this weird C sharp, and then you have the F, and then the F turns into F minor, and it's all just different chords shifting to create like emotional power, and it's just how good are the lyrics on top of that, if that makes sense. But anyway, I know you, I know what you're thinking. How could I question everything that I do for you again? I kind of just, the way that I write lyrics is really annoying, because I just kind of sing whatever I'm thinking at the time, like lyrics wise, over guitar, which leads to almost all of my songs just being guitar and vocals, and it's difficult to work anything else into them. That's going to be a big struggle for this album, I think, but I'm sure I will figure it out. And I mean, it worked really well for this song, at least. I just need to get some good guitar tones and some good backing vocals, and it's done, as opposed to the other songs that have much more complicated parts to them. So alone, sat in my darkness for you to come home. I wish I could hold you, but I like the way you were before. I think that actually kind of makes sense. This is the sadness of the song is more about the first, in that I should have probably seen it coming, whereas the actual things that happen in the song are things that happened in me slowly realizing that this other person was really horrible and wasn't like a good human being, and that is what it is. But when I say like I liked the way you were before, that's kind of me going, I liked my own negligence, I liked what I thought you were, not what you actually are, which is actually really mean when I say it out loud, but it's what happened. I ended very badly for things that were their own fault. But when I say at the end, like, the end is like an acceptance kind of it's this bit of the I caught you finally happy. I thought I'd call you my wife, but it's okay, I promise I'm fine. I think it's just kind of reflecting on the growth that you get from making bad decisions and trusting the wrong people. It's that kind of level of I'll be fine after this. Like, this bit is obviously going to be painful, but I'm going to learn from this and I'll be better from this. And it's, maybe I can fix the next person if they need fixing. Maybe I can't. Maybe I need fixing. I guess we'll never know. Well, we will know in about a year's time. Maybe I'll reflect on this video and go, what a pillock. But yeah, that's that song at least. I'll show you another song I've been working on. This one doesn't have any lyrics, and I don't know if it's going to have any lyrics. I kind of liked the idea, and I'm going to try really hard not to be pretentious, but it probably is going to sound a bit pretentious. I low-key want to have just like a conversation over this one. Like, I just want it to be kind of two people talking, which does mean I need to write a script. I do know the name of it. It's called Casement, which is an homage to a very good friend of mine. But the way I wrote this song, annoyingly, is one of my favourite songs is a song called Out Getting Ribs by King Cruel. And hate runs through my blood. My tongue was in love. My heart, it hangs in shame. I gotta be leaving now. I thought I'd never be shut down. But girl, I'm black and blue. So beaten down for you. Sorry. Don't break away. Yeah, I'm sure I got that very wrong, and I don't know the song to a T perfectly, but just learning the initial, that, and through learning that song, I got this tuning, which is D, A, D, F sharp, B, E, which is a really cool thing, and it means that the way that I kind of wrote the song actually was more, I was thinking I want to be able to kind of be doing two things at once. I want to be playing a bass line and a melody and kind of chords at the same time, which is why it's really difficult to write lyrics over, because there's so much going on. And there's two guitars in this, so I can't do it full justice, but I can do you what the lead one kind of does. There's another guitar that's doing basically the same thing, but just more chords. Screwed up kind of there, but yeah, and then the chorus, as well as doing that, we'll have another guitar going, and then another one going. this bit. I don't know if it's in the right key, but it sounds really cool. Something like that. I need to figure out the structure, and even if there could be vocals in that, to be fair, and with the chorus being as kind of loud as it is, I'm sure I could do like a, but yeah, I could fit something in, but it's just more, when you have like 2 or 3 guitars all doing their own noodly complicated parts, it's like a symphony of guitars, like that kind of thing. That's what I want. And then I'll show you one last one, just because it's in the same tuning and I won't have to tune back for it. This one will definitely have vocals in. And this song was literally just written on me being in this tuning and trying to learn, like, figure out chord. Sorry, I lost myself in my words for a second there. Yeah, it's just me like figuring out chords. Like, I was literally just in my room just like playing around trying to find what chords were what in this weird tuning, and I found these chords. I think that's going to be basically the verse. It's these 2 chords, and then the chorus is like a. But I think all I've got in the moment are not even lyrics, just like a melody for the chorus of the. I know us, I know you want to go places that you so ain't seen before. I want you to be happy. Why can't that be with me, baby? I know you wanted charity, I know you wanted pain, causing so much destruction, causes tears again. I feel sorry for the next guy. I hope I'm not the next guy. Something like that. Again, sad, somber stuff on guitar like I always do, but no lyrics kind of set out just yet. But it's kind of the da 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 Whenever I sing for this song, it always ends up being about, why can't you just let yourself be happy? Why do I have to watch you constantly make mistake after mistake? And it feels so intentional because they're so obvious to me. But is it obvious to me because I've had growth, or is it just, or am I just completely wrong and you're doing what is actually best for you? But it's getting to a point where it's hurting everybody, and it's just so depressing to see someone that the person singing about the character is just so infatuated with this human being, but they know it's just going to end badly, and it does end badly, but they're so like captivated by them that they can't quite let go of the cycle of like pain that they're in. God, this is dark, but like, why can't you just be happy? Could you let me just be happy, baby? No. Like, it's just like, it's a cry for help, but it's also just a lack of understanding. Like, just can't comprehend why they've done what they've done. Like, obviously, maybe it makes sense to them at the time, but it's so irrational and so deeply disturbing what their thought process is that it just hurts everyone around them. And you look at each incident, and you're just like, why have you done that? Why does this benefit anybody, including yourself? Like, it's just self-detriment. It's just terrible. But yeah, anyway, that's what that song's going to be about. I haven't named that one yet. I don't think I've got any more songs in that tuning I can think of. But yeah, I think all the little melodic bits I want to add in are like I'll show you the stuff without singing, but that bit sounds off. It's supposed to be quite passionate, like quite soft spoken at the start, and then by the end I just want it to be like, I don't know, like you're just so pissed off, but you're not pissed off at them because they're hurting themselves. You're pissed off just with how awful the situation is, and how not anger, but like your frustration comes from the lack of comprehension, the lack of like, why are they doing this? Why do they need to? Why do they feel the need? And it's just, yeah, and that's kind of building up throughout the whole song. It's just an emotional like bottlehead of just someone's got a can of Coke and they're just, I'm not going to do that hand motion, but they're just shaking it and you're just waiting for it to explode, and you're low-key interested in like who it's going to spray at, but you know if you keep watching it's definitely going to be you. Like it's maybe I'll call it Coke can or something like that. I'll name it something like that. I think that's quite funny. And when I release it, no one will understand. And then for the 5 people that have watched this, they watch this video and go, I know why it's called Coke Can. It's because Luca had a mental breakdown whilst trying to record his songs. Anyway, thank you. I'll see if I do another one of these.